14 is not shit. I disagree with all of you there.
I cannot stand that awful floaty combat.
Anyway, let's play this game that we decided to come here to play.
Fools.
So, where we last left off, 5 months had passed, and the deadline for the Githzerai attack had finally come. As such, you and Magus Lorum teleported back up to the monastery where you had met them, and waited for their arrival in the hopes that they would give you a chance to handle things yourself. And indeed, they did. And in fact, they rewarded you for saving them a lot of effort by giving you an airship. Not just an airship, a spelljammer. Although none of you actually know it can go into space.
No.
Or what space is.
To be fair, space sucks.
I cannot wait until we learn that, and I just want to go to Faerun and buzz them and tell them that their planet sucks.
It's a sea of stars, so it's automatically terrible.
Well, it's also a bunch of crystal spheres in a magic glowing sea of fire.
And somehow, it sounds even more stupid.
I love it because it's stupid.
Yeah.
You know what? That's perfectly fine. I feel the same way about Evangelion, so...
There's the entire reason behind the settings where they all mix together is that they're so stupid, but they are stupid in an enjoyable way.
Profoundly stupid.
Anyway, so in your new airship, you all flew back down south, learning how it works, learning where to put your stuff.
Having a bit of a joyride.
Yeah. And when you got back, Harvey came up to you with a metal rod that had been in the Aurelia's family for generations. Came from a mysterious ship full of mysterious people from a mysterious continent who would occasionally show up and trade and then go off to where few people knew. But Magus Lorum knew, because one of the projects back at the university down in Okar was to map out the planet using specialized spells. And so now you have a copy of the map of the planet. There's not much detail to it, but it's yours and it's there. And you figure that the mysterious people who have some sort of magic resistance and iron and ships that also seem to resist magic, they must be from the small continent at the center of the others, Kulanya. And guess what? You've got a ship that can take you there.
A fucking skyboat.
Yeah.
Incidentally, both Lorum and Harvey volunteer to go with you and to take one of those 8-hour shifts of powering the ship. You're free to take one, both, or neither. And incidentally, you were talking openly about the whole King of Worms in front of Lorum, so Harvey brought him up to speed.
Okay, at the very least we have to bring Harvey, because Harvey's good people.
Harvey's not even people.
He wants to be people, and that's what matters.
Not
He's
really.
more people than most people. I mean...
Actually, he wants to be immortal. And he's taken steps towards making that possible.
I never would have guessed. Couldn't
Want
tell.
to be uncommon people.
I still think he's good people. He's at least done right by us. Laura, I could give it a shake, though.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person here who actually likes Lorum.
He fucking tried to stiff me, okay?
All right. Well, I do want like clear votes from all of you. So that's one vote in favor of Harvey, one against Lorem.
Oh, I'm for both of them.
All right, Grenache.
I'm indifferent, honestly, in regards to the pair of them.
Abstaining. Okay. How about Aurelia? Although I think I know what she would vote.
Aurelia needs to be the tiebreaker.
It makes sense.
Hmm.
Also, Kalen, to be fair, yes, Planescape is stupid, and I also appreciate Planescape, so I understand completely.
I don't think Visk was paying attention. Hey Visk,
Come on.
you are a tiebreaker with this vote to
Oh fuck! I
bring.
was still muted. God,
Oh.
that was embarrassing.
Oh, I was wondering why you weren't typing.
Yeah, I apologize for that. I was talking to you guys, and I forgot that I had not muted
It's
myself.
it's fine. It happens.
It's because I also didn't have my mic plugged in, so I plugged that in and then muted myself. So, yeah. Anyway, no, Aurelia is somewhat indifferent. But she's willing to accept help even if she doesn't.
Actually, I take it back. I'm willing to accept Lorem because he would be a good magic battery.
Yeah, exactly. The one caveat is as long as this doesn't impede Aurelia's plan to convert one of the larger cabins into a captain's quarters for herself.
All right. Well, there's only so many cabins, but there's also tight quarters are kind of tight just in general.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The ones where there's like 6 beds laid out or whatever, she's gonna take one of those rooms and just make it for herself.
But on the bright side, with the 4 of you plus 2 spellcasters, you only need to find 4 regular sailors to fill out your crew.
Dibs.
What?
I'm flying this bitch.
I think we're all taking turns flying it. That's how it works.
We're looking for sailors.
Oh.
Much like in everyone's favorite game, Shenmue.
I've never played Shenmue, so.
Well, just
I
remember that you're looking for sailors.
Is it pronounced? I don't think it's pronounced Shenmue.
It is Shenmue.
Shenmue? Really? No, the E
No,
doesn't have a sound.
Shenmue.
It's Shenmue.
I don't believe you.
I wouldn't believe them either.
What
In
the
any
fuck
case,
is wrong with you people?
I believe you, Torpo. Come on.
I appreciate you, Kalon, at least.
All right. So, how are you going to go about finding good hands for this boat?
Oh, it is Shenmue. That's so weird.
I,
They just spell it wrong. Okay.
it's Japan. What do you expect? Anyway, I would.
Phonetics.
I mean, it's probably just me sort of thinking here, but I'd imagine if you're looking for sailors, you'd want to look at the docks.
Or, here's the thing. I don't know how different a spelljammer / airship is from a normal ship, but you know what area has a lot of airships coming and going that might have people who are more familiar with their workings. Okar. I'm talking about Okar. Okar has a lot of airships going.
Either way, all we really need is people to man the weapons.
Pretty much.
And
Also, ship maintenance is a necessity.
Yeah, that too.
That and the steering fins.
Yeah.
You can steer the ship using the helm, but being the magic caster on the helm. But you can steer much faster by shifting the steering fins along the side of the ship.
Right. So I'm thinking maybe we fly this bitch to Okar and find people more familiar with airships than normal, like, water ships.
And sounds fine to me.
I
It's still a
guess.
boat. Sky boat, but it's still a boat, but still.
I mean, there's subtle differences, I imagine. I don't know. I have been on both now. I've been on a boat before.
We've
Huh.
all been
And
on
we all
boats
have.
Yeah.
several
Boats.
times each.
Boats fucking suck.
But I would allow people to make a investigation roll
Hell
Yeah.
yeah, investigation.
in order to find qualified sailors in Vienna. I mean, airships don't exist in only one place. That would be kind of against the point of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay, I was gonna abstain from rolling, but seeing that,
It's fine. It's fine.
okay, well,
It's fine.
okay, okay.
Yeah, but I rolled an 8.
I know you did, and I
Caleb.
fucking hate you.
I'm looking
Even
for
though-
sailors.
Even though I'm at 20, I can't beat you either, Rue, because I got a -1.
Okay, but when do we go racing forklifts? This is very important.
This is the song written.
Shenmue's very dumb.
All right. Well, Lily, you don't even have to think about it. You just go, I know exactly who to ask. Because in your dealings in the Halfling Quarter, which is generally where you spend a lot of your time when you're not with the party, everything there is correctly sized. No.
It's lovely. I love it.
In so doing, you've met a lot of the halflings there, and you happen to know a couple of them who happen to be very eager mechanics and very much interested in the latest thing, the most interesting inventions of the day.
The hot new shit.
You're not so sure how good they would be for steering the craft, but they would absolutely be perfect for keeping this ship in good repair and definitely manning the ballistae.
Which is what we need more than anything at the moment.
Yep.
Because I doubt any of you have the aptitude to really take care of this.
Mhm.
Nah.
And as for Lake, you don't know the right people so much as you get incredibly lucky. Because as you're walking down to the dock to find somebody to ask to fly an airship, you happen to see an airship coming down, landing in the docks. Think to yourself, I should probably ask them. And so you do. And you find fewer sailors than you were looking for, but turns out you didn't need a full complement because Lily's got your back.
Nice.
Just finally people who can relate to the struggles of being me. With us.
Yeah, and you can probably convert one of the quarters into a decent sized halfling and goblin bunk. Because, while humans would be fairly cramped and crammed in like sardines, you've got room to breathe, elbow room.
Yeah. It's great.
A double bed is kind of like a queen size to you.
One of the nice things about not being people size.
All right.
Yeah, but then
and
I can just like hold things like above my head and just watch you try jumping for it.
Yeah,
Wait.
but then I can shiv you in the ankles. What's your fucking point?
I imagine this has happened several times.
I'm just saying you don't need those kneecaps.
Eventually, I'll
I
just
mean,
become like Cotton Hill.
Also, even more importantly, I could just mage hand that shit from you.
Also, you could just levitate
That too.
as a power move.
Just climb up you with the fucking boots.
All right. With that, you're ready to go. You provision the ship. Make sure you get enough bolts for both the small and the large ballistae.
Mhm.
Rearrange the cabins to your liking. For that purpose, I will slide you over here. And incidentally, what are you going to bring for pets?
Bastion, and also Robert. I guess technically he's not really a pet,
How dare you
but
take the room I had claimed, you fuck.
really it took the room I claimed. So
I don't give a
Well,
shit.
hold on. Was Aurelia able to convert one of the larger rooms with multiple beds into a single room, like for herself?
Well, I will only say that I can't because this is a graphic.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just asking if that is an acceptable thing that she can do within the story.
Yes, it will take some time to set everything up, get everybody accustomed to the ship. There's definitely enough time to rearrange furniture.
okay, then I'll take this room. You can have one of the big rooms as a.
Although I feel
cat.
like Lily should just take the small one. She's tiny anyway.
Yeah, but there's gonna be more than one person in there, jackass.
I thought that aren't they going to be in here?
And in any case, you should know that your griffin doesn't actually need food or shelter because it is a magical being from another dimension.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah, I
even
know.
need to exist.
So the crew can all fit into at least one of those two larger rooms.
Yeah.
Here's a
know.
question: can Robert make sounds? Like, is he capable of making sounds?
In the sense that he makes clanging noises when his wrists slap together.
Okay, yeah. So I was just gonna be like, hey, just keep a eye out on things because he's too big to fit down here, so he can like keep watch out and like clang his wrists when something suspicious comes along.
Just come upstairs and you see him laying on the ground, staring at the stars. You're like, Robert, the fuck are you doing? Just clangs his wrist together.
Gestures up at the stars wistfully.
And then he just says Superman.
No, no!
All right. Let's bring in some halfling deckhands.
Yes, Bastion's coming along. Bastion's gonna probably freak the fuck out when the ship starts flying, but Bastion's coming along. Not leaving my dog behind for this long.
I've opted to leave the horse behind.
Look at these nerds with pets.
I mean,
Technically, a
to me,
horse
it's
isn't
not-
really a pet.
A
No.
horse is a pet, shut up.
I'm not using it as a pet though.
As someone who has owned horses before, fuck off.
Oh, is that why you
Horses
hate them
are
so much?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, you've owned horses before and you made a character who complains about the bourgeoisie.
I mean, yes,
It's
the
called
horses also weren't.
role-playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that we were both playing outside of our class.
Also, to be fair, the horses weren't mine.
Well, then you didn't
Sister
own them.
owned Horses,
Well, they were
so-
my sister's and my mom's.
I think that's
I
something.
just helped take care of them. I had been kicked by
Alright.
one of them, though. Right in the thigh.
Well,
Horses are terrible.
what about Errol? Aurelia?
Sorry. Oh,
The
Arrow.
pseudo dragon. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. What about him?
Is he coming
I mean,
along?
Bringing him or not.
Well, does he want to? He's as intelligent as a human, so I let him make his own decisions about that kind of thing.
Just live a life of leisure. Come on the boat.
Well,
Oh, is that Harvey?
I mean, I feel like he'd probably be up for it.
yes.
Ah, Harvey has a cool pog.
But yeah, I mean, I'll say Errol. If it's up to me, then I'll say that yes, Errol is interested in coming along as well.
Right. Well, when you ask Errol, he sits back on his haunches, considers it for a bit, and then you see the image of him and seagulls and the ship all flying together. And then he
Nice.
nods.
Is he
Okay.
chasing the seagulls? Is he trying to eat them?
Well, you get the impression that he is realizing that it will be much more convenient to chase seagulls if he has a place to land that is still up high in the air.
Okay,
That's true.
but more importantly, is he wearing an adorable sailor cap in that?
Not in his fantasies. Go
Damn
ahead
it.
and put one on in yours.
I'm sorry that this isn't Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, but he
This
can't.
one-
Look, I'm just saying, Errol would look adorable in a sailor cap.
He would.
All right, let me just pull up what's his face. It's down here somewhere.
It's like dressing up a Dragonite in the sailor costume.
No,
Let's
just
see
a cap.
before here. Do- Ah, here he is.
There he is.
Everyone's favorite mono battery.
All right, and let me just re-roll his hit points. It's not a number I kept track of, unfortunately.
To be fair, he didn't get hit much.
Well, there was the time that a bunch of quicklings almost shanked his ass to death.
There was. That was that one time.
And that sounds pretty great, though.
It was alright.
I mean, yeah, I was there for it.
Yeah, you were. All right.
Those halcyon days gone by, how I miss them.
So, with a full complement of crew, with an assortment of people, mages, and animals, and it's just appropriately sized here. One pseudo dragon.
This hot mess of a crew.
It's time to take off, flying into the air. Incidentally, who wants to take the first shift, the first official
Bwomp.
voyage of the Saffron Lady?
Already in the chair. Cannot stop me. Okay, so I need
I refuse to help. I'm barely a wizard.
8 hours worth of spells. So level 4 and 2 level 2s, I guess. I've got a level 4 stored in Robert if need be.
Mm-hmm. Casting it will use up his action for that turn, just for reference.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
By the way, my robot has a blight stored inside of him, so nobody give me any shit.
I mean, I can still give you shit.
So, the vessel lifts vertically off, up off the manicured grounds behind Aurelia's manor, Prince's abode. Fortunately, the lamprey has a fairly flat bottom, and the keel and the rudder are actually, well, they're actually on just sort of this mechanical I want to call it a jack. You can pull it up and drop it down at will, so that the vessel is able to ride on the waves when necessary. But when you take off, ears in your face, the entire staff of the manor are out on the lawn or standing up by the windows. Not all of them got to see you land, but by the gods, they are all going to be there to see you take off. And is there anywhere in particular you wanted to buzz past before you floated off onto the water? Pilot?
Hmm. It doesn't. This place doesn't have a guild, like a adventurers guild, does it?
Not really.
Then no, I don't care about buzzing anybody.
All right.
Well,
What would you
actually,
have to
I do want to fly over the Kinta tree though. Like I know they won't be able to know it's me up there, but yeah.
Well, it is actually a few hours out of your way back inland.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Like, it is several days' travel by foot to get there.
True. Yes. But never mind then. I will not. I will not buzz by the Kinta tree. But I don't feel like buzzing by anybody's house in particular because I don't spend enough time in the city to fucking care.
That said, I I would kind of question because Blake still hasn't got all their powers back, have they?
Don't worry about it.
I mean, if that's your say on it, then fair enough.
Don't
Don't
worry.
think we got a chance for a while.
Don't worry about it. Don't.
Okay.
It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
If you
I'm a level 7 druid now. Everything's fine.
Sure.
If you're sure.
Whatever floats your boat.
Hey. You're, you're in a flying boat.
I know. I know what I said.
I
Hey. Can't
mean,
see the finger guns, but I'm making them.
technically, I'm floating the boat right now, so
Exactly.
As long as you don't rock it.
don't tempt me.
So, you turn about and head straight out over the open water. Now, with your expanded senses while you're in the seat, you are able to see around you in all directions at once. And so you are actually able to see behind you the sort of tallish lump in the canopy of the forest that marks where the Kinta tree is. It may be several days away, but from this altitude, you can see it from here.
I give a mental wave goodbye to my friend, the Dryad.
All right. And with that, you head out and leave the continent behind you for the first time. Even when you are on, even when you are on the the Feywild has is a sort of faded copy of the real world, the prime material world. So even then, you are still, in some ways, on the continent. But now you're heading away, following the coastline of the Gnomish lands for some time, and then heading straight northwest to Kalania. The high you feel from being
Okay.
out over the water, flying through the air, that does fade after a few hours, reality sets in that this is once again going to be a long and rather dull voyage. All of you have been on long ship trips before, so you do know how to deal with the endless days. You repair parts, inspect parts of the ship, count the stores, pull out the instruments and play, trade stories in the cabins,
Liar's dice.
Yeah, I
Gam-
fucking will destroy you at Liar's Dice.
I know you will.
gamble in the hold, and you also get to know your other crewmen, crewmates at this point. The halfling couple who came aboard or are actively that, a couple, a husband and wife. They have pretty much dedicated their lives to the study of mechanical constructs. You actually got to know them, Lily, because they happen to be two of the foremost cuckoo clock manufacturers in the city. Like, the city imports them from further north, but a few of them are made in town, and these two happen to be experts at it. All things clockwork, really, but that's how they make their money. It's by building cuckoo clocks, selling them to tourists.
Can never resist the allure of chintzy crap.
The two human deckhands are from two different parts of the world. One is from up further north, um, in a somewhat more war-torn part of Relgoth, and as such, he's got some real horror stories to share about the kinds of insane crap he's seen. Like, you hadn't heard about just how much of a body a cannonball can take off when it hits square. But this
Just,
guy is willing to go into very gruesome detail.
I was
Cool.
gonna say,
just-
just the kind of person that starts telling a story and can't stop, but everyone wants him to.
Yeah,
Oh, Grun Ashman wanted to stop and be like, okay, so how does that compare to one of these things? And he points to these and just goes,
ballista?
so yeah, and it's just like, well, if I were to manage, working with you on this, how much damage could this thing do in comparison?
Just have this man relive his deep trauma.
Oh, by comparison, not very much. This thing can definitely take off a person's arm, but the cannon that hits you in the chest, body parts go in all directions.
Hmm.
I once
And
saved the finger that I got that was all that I could, the biggest piece I could find of a man I was serving with when I was in the mercenaries. I held on to it for 5 years, and then I traded it for a bowl of porridge.
Okay.
Just the one guy who can't stop telling his horrible war stories.
5 years and it didn't rot.
Just everyone starts avoiding him, but somehow it keeps happening.
It's a small ship, to be fair.
It is a very small ship, yes.
Again, Grun Ash is just taking this as a learning experience.
Lily just sees this man as a horrible killjoy.
The
You have to
other
remember,
guy,
Grun Ash is early 20s, so
the other guy is a native Okarn, actually from the core provinces that war really hasn't touched in over 100 years. As such, he is both disgusted and fascinated by the other guy's stories. And by comparison, when he talks about his upbringing, the best he can come up with is petty gossip about the neighbors.
How does he react to me if I start walking around forgetting to put my hood up?
He doesn't ask any questions, but you get the distinct impression that he is staring, and he often stops in the middle of a sentence when you enter or come up onto the deck.
Okay, I look at him and I go, just get it all out right now. Just get it all out.
No. I didn't ask any questions about you and your flying ship when I signed on. I'm not about to start asking questions now.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, if you ever feel like asking any questions,
I
feel
mean-
free to ask me. I can probably fill you in on a lot of things at this point.
That's okay. The more I'm aboard this ship, the more I'm realizing if I don't ask any questions, I don't have to hear any answers.
That's fair.
Especially with that guy, and I point to the other
That's
guy who is probably like talking about, I found a leg and I ate it for.
There's only
True,
meat-
still laughing at that one.
that was the only that was the only meat I had for the entire month.
I don't even know whose leg it was.
I had to ration that bastard. And so time passes, and you start to realize just how far away continents are from each other as compared to different parts of the one that you are from. Your ship is going at a very rapid pace and very steady. You don't have to rely on wind power or upon any sort of motors. Just the pure magic energy that is seeping into that chair is able to propel it forwards at a fast and steady pace. Nevertheless, after several weeks of travel, you start to realize that you're not going to be seeing too much aside from the water beneath you and the clouds above you. And even then, they sort of lose their features, or at least the sea does. You're flying, it gets to you because you're not quite sure how far up off the ground you are, unless you are in the seat at the time. There is no landmarks. There are hardly any waves on some days. And so all you see is an endless field of blue that sort of curves away as it reaches the horizon, but does nothing else of note. For, above you, the clouds, at least, are fairly interesting to watch. Many of you take to finding different patterns and symbols in cumulus clouds when you pass by, but other days you're not so lucky. You're just flying just beneath a layer of stratus that extends from horizon to horizon, occasionally rains its contents down upon you. On other days, there's just a scattering of cirrus near the top of the world. And of course, at night, you have the stars. Are any of you interested in stars or navigation?
I would be, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, if you happen to have navigation tools, roll proficiency. Otherwise, it's a straight intelligence.
Okay. I'll roll
Oh.
straight intelligence then. Guess what?
That's a good
well,
idea.
Guess what?
Oh, this is gonna work out well. As in,
Oh, hey.
yeah, that's about what I expected.
All right. Well, Grenache, you are well, you get a little worried after a while because you are familiar with the constellations. You have navigated by the stars more than once, on land and by sea. And now that they seem to be moving, the stars. As you travel further north towards the equator, you don't understand why or how, but the stars just don't seem to line up with where they ought to be. And Lake, you you know that the world is round, and so you are aware that the field of stars might slowly change as you move across a different part of the planet. As such, you start to look forward to every night when it's clear out, because then you can watch the horizon for new combinations of stars you'd never seen before.
Nice. And then I try to explain to Grenache, no, see, the world is round, so that means that the stars are going to be in different places the further we get away from Kandaric, I think it's called.
Yeah, but why?
Karastak.
Yeah, but why is that? Wouldn't they just
No,
like not?
no, it's okay. It's hard to explain, but this goes on for a while.
Yeah. Well, another intelligence check. Let's see how well you do.
Okay, I mean that's
Both of us, or
No, just Lake.
just like if I could click the right thing, that would be great. Intelligence. I'm gonna lucky that because I can just because like whatever it's gonna be several days before I
To roll lower.
Okay, I mean, one lower is still one lower is still lower, but yeah, I'll take the 11.
It takes you some time, and it's not easy to get quite through to him. And he may be on the ball when something practical is happening, but Grenache's formal education is severely lacking. Like, you have the benefit of going to a public school or something equivalent to that. So you actually have a higher level of education than Grenache does. But let's see here. So obviously, the two mages you've brought along can take two of the shifts in the seat.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Harvey is not going to have any problems with holding on to taking the graveyard shift, the overnight shift, because he doesn't sleep.
That makes two of
So, do you want to take the first shift, the morning, or the second one?
I'll take I'll take the second one so that way I can sleep in. Selfish bastard.
Oh yeah, you're staying up on a lot of nights just to keep track of the stars.
Yeah.
In that case, this encounter takes place on your shift. You are in the hot seat.
Oh boy, so that means I'm down on my level 4 spell and my level 2 spells. Well, not all my level 2 spells.
Also, you are in the seat.
Yes, that
And
too.
if you get out of the seat, then the ship will start falling down to the ocean.
Yeah. I'm still marking off the spells, though, just to be on the safe side.
Like, not to the point where things... now, as you'll recall, when the ship starts sinking, it will never sink fast enough to kill you unless the helm is destroyed entirely.
Mm-hmm.
But it will inhibit your movement.
I mean, I guess I'll stay in the seat.
And in any case, let's find out where everybody is by rolling perception.
Okay, do I roll perception considering I'm in the hot seat?
Yes,
Okay.
you would be able to see around you.
Okay. Here it is.
All right.
wow, 3 20s in a row. What the hell?
And I guess we're waiting for Lily.
Hey, what?
Perception.
Oh, perception. Okay, sorry. Perception, perception, perception. Oh wow, this is gonna suck.
Wow, I actually wasn't the least perceptive one here. Anyway, I'm gonna go get my monster manual. I forgot to grab that. And I need that for my Shield Guardian stats.
All right. Well, those of you who rolled the 20s are up on deck. And those of you who didn't are still in your cabins. And while Lake happens to be aware of their surroundings, they are unfortunately not able to see things just because they they aren't able to see things that are able to conceal their presence. And so while you are aware that this is about to happen, you are unable to call down in time to slow or prevent what is about to happen.
One of these days, I'll just stop being lazy and find a place to copy and paste the shit down. Whoa!
Air elementals have ambushed the party. Roll initiative.
Seems fitting.
I mean, I am in the chair.
And you there just for the turn marker. Here we are. Oh yeah, of course they're fast. But not too fast when they roll at 5. And let's see here. Oh, yep. Aside from that, let's see. Alhoon gets a +1. Damn. He's apparently he's in his cabin, but that didn't stop him from bolting upright as soon as he hears some ruckus above him. All right, and
Orum.
Lorem gets a 12.
This all feels vaguely familiar for some reason.
Well, luckily my Shield Guardian can go on my turn. You know, in like 10,000 years.
So we don't know what these are, right?
You sense hostile intent as
Right.
the air seems to congeal around you and approach.
Is there a roll I could make to see if I have any idea about these things?
Well, you've faced an elemental before, for one thing, and you've had a form
Oh.
of education.
So sorry, I do know that it's an elemental. Okay.
Yeah, like you can still make an Arcana roll to get details.
Sure. It's pretty good.
You made a point of looking up all information about elementals after you faced one under the ocean. An air elemental, much like the water elemental you faced before, is immune, or at least resistant to non-magical weapons, and as you might expect, they also resist lightning and thunder damage.
But they don't resist necrotic damage. That's what you're saying.
They are immune to a lot of conditions, such as exhaustion, paralysis, grappling, petrified, poisoning, being prone. However, they do have minds that you can affect, and they don't have any particular resistance to that sort of magic.
Good.
Cool.
And they can also enter people's spaces and form a whirlwind that can trap and damage them.
Sounds like a dick move.
Yeah.
So there are just 3 of them, right?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, okay. This one up here is for initiative purposes. Got it.
Yes.
All right. How are we feeling, guys?
I'm feeling like my shield guardian can get one really good move off, and then I'm basically useless for the rest of the fight.
I have an idea for what I can do.
Man, I kind of want to know what it looks like when an air elemental dances.
It
Um,
looks a lot like the genie from Aladdin.
yeah, that would be my thought. Let's see. I mean, do we think we're gonna get into more fights? Should I save that spell slot, or?
No, we're
I
probably
mean,
not
if I'm
gonna.
gonna use it, let's just go for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Quick question, Bobbin. Is the one that's closest to Aurelia, within range of, like within melee range of those people yet?
No,
No, it's not. Okay.
they yeah, they have a 5-foot reach.
Okay.
Yeah, their whole thing is occupying other people's spaces, not reaching across and punching them.
Right. I just wanted to check. Because if it has to use all of its movement to dance, then it cannot leave its space, and thus presumably cannot occupy someone else's space.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I will go ahead and use Otto's Irresistible Dance on the closest air elemental. This one.
All right. And as per the spell, it simply works.
Yep.
And as soon as you start casting spells, and as soon as the deckhands start shouting, um, well, Lily, you hear a curse from the next room. The walls are fairly thin here. And then, let's see, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to get up on deck. And looks around. And since air elementals are not native to this planet, his psychic abilities will actually work against them.
Oh, nice.
All right. So yeah, he just holds out his hands, and with a simple thought, he attempts to dominate the elemental on the right. The air elemental on the right needs to make a wisdom save versus 16. I don't have a wisdom bonus.
Oh,
So it goes about as well as you'd expect.
nice.
I just need to move the pog here so I can actually access the status
Oh.
effects. That'll do.
Out of curiosity, shouldn't I be ahead of Lorem in the turn order?
Yeah, sure.
Because I think my bonus is higher, but whatever.
My usual thing for that is PCs go first.
Okay.
PCs break ties.
Okay. Okay, so I figure out that this is under control, and this is just dancing.
Yes. As the air elementals reveal themselves, one of them just sort of starts twisting around what might be its waist, and the other one, well, the Harvey holds his hand out, and it just sort of shudders. So you figure that's probably being handled.
Okay. Well, I figured, well, the other two are being taken care of. I best get the one up front. So, let's get past our big boy here. And I just stopped firing off sunbolts.
Who's eating the chips?
I am sorry. I thought that would not be loud enough. I will mute myself.
Never assume chips are quiet.
They're never quiet.
Nope. Won't fire your bolts.
Yep. And I'm
Shoot,
firing all
shoot,
cylinders, so I'm firing everything I got, plus bonus. Oh, one of them's never gonna hit.
Third one misses, so roll for damage twice.
2 hits. Okay, so 2d6 plus
Wah,
8.
wah, wah, wah. Much like a DBZ energy storms, only some of them seem to hit.
Yeah.
Ah, he must be playing as Krillin then, because if he was playing as Vegeta, none of them would hit.
All right, Lily.
Oh boy, I can actually move. So where would this let out? This.
That
I think
is
that's
for this trapdoor.
Okay, let's see.
And there's another ladder near the bottom, near the hold. That also has the trapdoor up.
It's just further away.
Do.
And the trapdoor on the second deck leads actually down to the bottom of the ship.
Okay. So if I move
That's
from
how you
there.
climb in and out when it's on land.
Okay. Yeah. So. With that, then I'll move to here.
All right.
So that's 30 feet.
And climbing up the ladder, by the way, costs 2 movement.
Which is how much?
2 squares of movement, I should say.
I have-
So,
That's 10 feet, I guess.
so
There.
yeah, just coming out from where you were would be 20 feet of movement.
Yeah, that's right here then. Somewhere like right here. Think let's pretend I know numbers. Yeah, that's 10 feet. All right. How far is it between me and there? That's okay. That's less than 60. Okay. This is fun. I'm gonna use my bonus action to summon Shadow Blade. A dumb thing I'd been sitting on for a while, because thankfully these things are affected by psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Would you say it's dim lighting or dark?
What, right now?
Yeah.
It's the daytime.
Oh, it is daytime. I couldn't quite tell from the background. Okay.
Yeah,
Well.
the background is not going to change with the time of day, unfortunately. But right now it's the second shift. It's fairly early in the afternoon still.
Let's see. I just want to make sure of distances. Yeah. Okay. Actually, I'll instead move to here, and I will stealth like a cool person.
Behind what?
Well, I thought I was like behind here.
Okay, then you get to stealth against the dancing one, not the one in front. You don't have cover from that angle.
Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not really much I can do at the moment then.
Well, you could always ready an action just in case one of them approaches.
Okay. Yeah. No.
You don't?
I don't.
All right. Lorm's turn. And he is on this page. So Lorm is also aware of what these creatures are. But there's not too much he has in the way of spells that can hit them and not everybody else. Oh wait, no, I was looking at the wrong guy. Yeah, I was looking at the evoker on the list, and yes, that is true about that guy. No, no, in this case, the diviner doesn't actually have too much of the way of direct combat spells. So he is just going to cast Stone Skin on himself in case one of them approaches him. What's a good Stone Skin? The Fist. Why not? It's going to make no movement, though. And so now it is the Air Elemental's turn. So the first one is just going to dance, 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 and use its action to attempt to stop dancing. That is Wisdom.
I believe so.
What's your save, Aurelia?
Oh,
Never
You mean-
mind.
wait.
Never mind. Just
Excuse me. Excuse me, by the way.
It's probably a 2.
Sorry, I'm confused.
He
I
was
was
trying to
going to
save, but he
ask you-
failed.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I failed no matter what number you were about to say.
Okay.
That is how I failed.
I was just not clear on what you were asking.
For a save DC. But again,
Okay, for the DC, right? Okay, yeah. It's 17, by the way.
so the mind-controlled one is going to approach its friend and attempt to hit it. Let's see how well it does.
Punch, kick, it's all in the mind.
Very well.
Almost perfect.
And it does quite a bit of damage, but its weapon attacks are technically not magical, so its friend here is actually resistant to attacks. But it gets 2 of them and misses with the second.
Eh,
But the
3% hit rate, I can't complain.
But the air elemental, the first one, doesn't really know what the hell's going on. And honestly, they aren't that intelligent. At least not the ones who just randomly appear in the wild. So it's just going to actually move forward, to not leave the threatened area, and attack Grenache, who has helpfully placed himself in front.
Sick.
Actually,
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's-
Hold on. I can't use my shield guardian's reaction for that. Right.
Actually, yes, it is going to move even further forward, provoke an attack of opportunity. I pressed the wrong thing. There it is. Also a miss. And it is going to turn into a whirlwind. So Grenache and the shield guardian are
Mhm.
going to have to roll strength saving throws.
Oh shit. Oh no. The strength is the okay. Does it get a bonus to that? No, it doesn't. Okay.
Hmm.
D20 plus 4. Oh, well, shit.
Huh.
I mean,
So-
the shield guardian is heavy, so I don't know.
Well, Grunash, as soon as it starts whirling around you, you grab hold of the ballista and don't let go. Eventually, the winds subside, and you turn around and you see that the shield golem has been flung over the side.
No! You motherfucker.
How heavy is the shield goal?
It's very heavy.
It's gonna sink like a fucking rock.
Well, okay. I mean, that's very vague. Everything will sink like a rock if you throw it into the air.
Okay. Here's the thing. It is literally made out of metal and hatred for.
Okay, so probably too heavy for red hair to carry.
Yes.
Okay, well, rip shield golem.
Fuck that. Guess what? Guess what the ship's gonna be doing? It's gonna be maneuvering to catch this motherfucker.
Oh,
I'm not-
okay,
I'm not losing it. I'm not losing
That's
it.
a bad idea.
Yeah. Well.
You have altitude.
Hold on,
to
hold on,
spare
hold
for
on,
this
hold on.
maneuver.
Okay, you know what? I've got a different thing I can do if you really want to save it that won't require risking
Well,
all of our
considering
lives, but-
it's like basically the only thing keeping me relevant in combat these days, yes, I would like to save it.
Okay, because
Can't
I
really
do
say
have
these days when it's the first time you have it.
yeah, but I have levitate on my Anstrith harp, so
Okay.
I can just levitate it.
Okay.
Which should presumably make it easy for you to catch. Are we still moving forward, by the way, or have we sort of stopped?
Well, funny you should mention that. The person who decides that is taking their turn now.
Okay.
As I say, we just don't want the shield golem punching a hole through the fucking deck.
Yeah, we're not moving forward. I'm not gonna lose this. Shit. I am, however, going to be making it not such a sudden drop that'll like make everybody else fall, but like I'm gonna try and uh keep it from.
Dive after it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and dive after it, just so that way Aurelia's levitate spell doesn't need to like go super far, and also so that way I can. Is this guy still within 30 feet of the falling shield guardian?
Well, it's kind of suspended in midair and falling quickly. You probably wouldn't be able to tell it to do a thing before it fell too far for it to work.
Damn it! All right, well then my entire turn is spent diving after it in a manner that does not fuck everybody else up.
All right. In that case, I'm going to have you roll Arcana using Charisma.
Okay. So I'm
Actually, no. You're using Druid spells right now to power the ship.
Yeah. So
Roll Wisdom.
proficient S. Oh, okay.
Okay, you. Desperation makes experts of us all. Everybody feels a sudden lurch as the ship's momentum suddenly switches from forward to down. You're not going quite at terminal velocity, and so the Shield Guardian is outpacing you. But this does mean that all of the air elementals are now relatively 60 feet above you.
Wow. Okay. Quick question. Should Red Hair have an initiative? Because he is capable of acting independently when I'm not riding him.
He would use your turn.
Yeah, like my shield guardian was going to be
would
using
he?
my turn.
Okay.
Yes.
Because yeah, I think when we discussed it, you said that basically he could just you would control him and have him as like a friendly NPC basically if Aurelia wasn't riding him.
Yes.
Um,
And as a mount, he would naturally act on your initiative.
Right, that makes sense. Okay. So okay, they're 60 feet. Okay, so the downside is if I use levitate to save the stupid guardian, that is gonna cancel my concentration for auto irresistible dance. But it's very important to Lake, so
And keep
hopefully
in
that
mind, he's
yeah.
only Lake is only using the Shield Guardian. Any of you could use that thing if Lake allowed you to trade.
I mean, it's a little gauche, isn't it? Yeah. Um.
Actually, it's an incredibly high prestige item.
Yeah.
Okay.
To own and not to use. Come on, Bob.
Well, monarchs and powerful mages spend money out the ass just to own one of these things.
Well, I mean, I already own it. I just let Lake use it. I own all
I
of you.
don't think
How it
you
works.
own it. I think
In any
You-
event,
Nobody alone if it sinks
All
in the
right.
water.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll lose concentration on auto zero dance, and that was not really worth it, but whatever. And use levitate to save the stupid golem. I don't know where it is relative to us exactly, but
probably it's like 5 feet down.
a little further than that.
Okay.
Like I said, it's going at terminal velocity. You aren't.
Okay.
okay. Oh wait, how much does it weigh?
A lot.
Okay, I need a specific number.
It
Like,
doesn't. It doesn't give a specific number.
okay, well, in that case, I'm asking Bobbin because Bobbin is the GM and gets to decide things. So just let Bobbin answer the question, please. How much does it weigh? Because levitate only works on something up to 500 pounds. Does this weigh more than 500 pounds?
It would, yes.
Okay, then levitate does not work. Huh. I mean, unless you're willing to say that it like works less effectively or something on something larger. I don't know. Otherwise, I am out of ideas.
Well, I'll say this. You could attempt to use levitate essentially as a slow fall spell in this case.
Okay.
But to make it work, you would need to understand what you're doing. So I'll have you roll Arcana plus your spellcasting mod.
Okay. So you mean plus charisma instead of intelligence?
Right, because
Okay.
you are working this spell,
Okay. So
and your spell works based on your spellcasting mod.
or wait, my spellcasting modifier just my charisma modifier, or is it the same as my spell attack modifier?
Your spell attack modifier also has the proficiency, so it is
Right.
just
Okay.
charisma.
Okay, just
plus-
charisma. Okay, in that case, this is just +1 from whatever I get on this. Oh, cool. It doesn't matter. Aurelia does not know what she's doing.
All right. Well, you attempt to modify the levitation spell, but you're in a time crunch, and you're a bit. Well, you were in the middle of concentrating on a different spell anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't go quite the way you want it to. The spell just simply fails.
Shit. Okay, well, I tried my best. That's pretty much my turn, I think. Well, I guess I'll move quickly. Wait, what's my speed again? 30? Let's move up a bit so I'm closer to the other ones. All right. I don't know if Red Hair wants to do anything, but
Well, at the moment, it's up to you.
oh, okay.
It's just going to sort of sit there on deck until you give it an order.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be acting independently, like when I wasn't riding it, but
Well, at the moment, you're fighting a bunch of elementals that are flying through the air, and it doesn't really know what to do.
all right. Well, I'll just have it come closer to me then. Actually, wait, does it have enough movement that I could potentially mount it? If I didn't move like that, could I? I don't know if there's rules for how much movement mounting something costs.
I'm sure there is, but I'm not gonna be bothered to look it up.
Okay, well it flies over here and then Aurelia gets on. No, change the order.
There.
Thank you. Okay. Aurelia is now mounted. Maybe she can fly after the robot and see where it sinks. I don't know.
Well,
Wait, does it count as a creature?
yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, I know how to fix this. I can do it next turn.
Okay. Well, it's Harvey's turn. And between the fact that Harvey casts spells like a wizard, and you're on a flying ship all day, guess what he has memorized?
Featherfall?
Featherfall.
Nice.
So he casually strolls forward. Wait, let's see. I don't think Featherfall is a concentration spell.
I don't think it is either.
Let me just look it up quick. Find familiar. Featherfall. Yep, duration is 1 minute. All right, so yeah, he casts Featherfall using his reaction. And let's see, what's a good symbol for that?
How about
That one.
Okay.
He's still maintaining concentration on Dominate Creature. Or Dominate Monster on the one guy. So on the guy who just stopped dancing, he's going to cast Disintegrate.
Jeez.
Eat shit.
Harvey is cold.
I mean, he is an undead illithid, so
All right.
Cold undead elephant.
That requires a dexterity save on the air elemental's part. Air elemental fails.
oh no, this air elemental's just atoms now.
Probably what it was before, right?
Okay, fair enough. Not much has changed, I guess.
Aren't we all atoms?
Yeah, but well, okay, it was molecules, but not molecules that were, put together into anything particularly impressive. Just
The
stuck together by magic.
disintegrate beam leaves his finger, hits the thing square in the center, and bursts it apart. There's this. It still seems to exist as a being, but it is much smaller now than it was before. Disintegrate has removed a lot of the air that was its existence.
I don't
Grenache.
think I can get to as a no, I can't. That
Well,
sucks.
Given it's 60 feet away, I don't have many options. So, as an action, I'm going to fire off a guiding bolt straight up. Strike the thing with it.
All right. That's an attack roll from you, right?
Yep,
Yep, that'll hit.
yep, I'm pretty sure that would. And 46 radiant. Okay, I'll take that.
All right, so you blast in the center, and the flickering eldritch flames of the guiding bolt surround it, making it easier for the next person to be able to hit it.
And with my bonus action, I use a key point to activate patient defense. And so I'm using my bonus action to dodge.
All right, yeah, put up your dukes and you hold them up in front of you in the guard position, which means it is Lily's turn.
Oh, not much I can do. It's great. Because now that they're super high above us, I don't have enough range on fucking anything.
Actually, you do. I told you to get the light crossbow instead of the hand crossbow, remember?
Yeah. No, but I thought I couldn't hurt them with the light crossbow, because it's not magic.
You
Resistance, not immunity.
resistance.
Oh, resistance, okay. Okay, I'll just shoot them then. Fucking whatever. I'll stealth first. Over here.
Yep. And actually, he had Grenache has set up advantage on the middle one.
Ah, true.
That means you get your sneak attack damage.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll move on over here and I'll shoot it. Let's see.
With advantage.
Oh, wow, yeah. Sure, whatever, I'll roll it again. Why not, for laughs?
All right. Worth a shot. Always. It's always worth a shot. It's always the 5% chance.
Mm-hmm. Once I learn how to type. D8 plus 5 plus 66.
All right. This gets half, but that's still significant. Your bolt slows down as it passes through, but the wind seems to whip in a way that you might interpret as a screech. And it's Lorm's turn. And Lorm also had Featherfall memorized, just so you know. Also a wizard, also in the middle of flying.
But he's also slower, so.
I also learn Featherfall. Like, is that a thing druids can get?
I don't know, you better check.
It's first level, right?
Yes.
No, I actually can't. What the fuck, druids? It's right. It's named after a part of a bird. What is wrong with you?
All right. Well, Lorm is going to follow up the disintegrate by firing a trio of scorching rays at the left air elemental. Hit, miss, miss. That's
If there's any comfort to you, clerics can't learn it either.
2d8 of fire damage. That's hurting pretty bad now. But now it's the air elementals' turns. And although you have gone 60 feet straight down, air elementals move 90 feet per round.
This is bullshit. I hate air elementals. This is fucked.
So it is going to come down and envelop the three of you. So
Bold move. Let's see if it pays off.
yeah, it has not used its whirlwind yet. So all three of you, or two of me and Lily, will have to make strength saving throws.
Fuck off. Hate this.
Yeah, it's strength. The only thing that you have a 12 in. Oh no.
Please, it's not even my lowest stat. which is wisdom. I will have you know I have a 13 in strength.
Well,
Which one of those was the 2? Or 5? Which one of those was the 5?
Well, let's find out what happens to Lily first.
Okay, sure, whatever. Let's see.
I'm gonna guess that's the crew member.
All right, yeah, Lily's fine. You,
With any luck, it's Harvey, and he could just levitate.
yeah, you grab hold of the steering wheel, and although you're flung like out of position, you are not harmed or flung off the ship. Harvey, for his part, Harvey basically holds on through sheer determination, apparently, and then the crewman just flies off into the void.
No.
And guess what?
Wait.
We're gonna try and make this a double save.
Okay, well, yeah.
Unfortunately,
I guess he's the one I'm saving now.
Oh yeah, this is true. You do have the ability to fly after him.
and a whole bunch of people have featherfall.
Yeah, that too.
And you are going to have to do something quick if you're going to, because. Oh no, actually, he's probably still awake after that. He's probably still alive. This is, I mean, this guy basically has commoner level hit points, but 2, yeah, I think he could survive that.
Yeah.
I didn't know fall damage had been upgraded to D8s. I thought it was always D6s.
Oh no, that's the whirlwind.
Oh,
The whirlwind
okay.
does damage and then flings you away.
Okay.
Possibly
Wait,
into
this-
something, possibly off of something in this case. In any event, the mind-controlled air elemental is going to persist in attacking its former companion. And yes, that was the +8. Hit. With a 2d8 +5 for each one. Also rolling snake eyes somehow for a -3.
Snake eyes on a D8. Good damn.
All right, it's pummeling its buddy, but the buddy is not done yet. And for that matter, the buddy rolls a d6, does not recharge the whirlwind, but it is going to fly down vertically and be just above Grunash's head. You've got patient defense up, right?
Yeah, so that's disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
All right, but before that, quick, the reaction attack misses. So now it is going to slam you twice with disadvantage. Good thing you got disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 19 still hits, but
At least it's not a crit.
yeah. And the
Second
second one
attack
misses.
And you take 14 damage from being slammed by the wind.
Okay.
All right, Lake.
All right.
Momentum will continue to take you down and your shield guardian while slowing down has not ceased falling. So you will need to keep up
Okay.
if you want to get to him before you get to the water.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. So I'm guessing that's another wisdom check.
No,
Oh.
the wisdom check was to change your direction all of a sudden.
Okay.
However, it will require your concentration to move the ship in its current direction.
Oh, so concentration check. Okay.
No, it's not a check. It's
Oh.
just you're using up your
Oh,
action.
yeah,
to do
yeah.
this.
I mean, I was planning on it, so yeah. So just sort of get down. Hopefully, get. Is it above the? If I go down, can I sort of like move the ship over so that way it like sort of gently lands on the ship?
It's going to take a few rounds just to catch up with it at your
Oh,
current
okay.
relative speeds.
Okay, fair enough. So let me just give it +5 hit points, and then I'm just gonna. Well, I mean, that's my turn. Just going after it, I guess.
All right, and meanwhile, the air elementals move 60 feet relatively up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 6.
Wait. Hold on. Is oh no, never mind. Never mind. It would be a waste at the hit points that they're at, and I don't want to hurt the dominated one. I don't. I think that might end the domination.
I think it would get a save.
I mean, either way, I was gonna Oh, you mean just a save in general right now to end it?
Well, in any case, Grenache, Lily, and Harvey all get to make melee attacks if they decide to use their reactions.
Yep, seems like
Yeah, I'll use my reaction.
Yeah, it is moving out of your threatened area. Now, keep in
Yeah.
mind that you have a crossbow in your hands, so you'll have to make an improvised weapon attack to hit it with your crossbow. But you will get sneak attack again if you hit, because technically Harvey is threatening the air elemental with you.
I think you just make it at not proficiency.
Yeah, no proficiency bonus, just your strength.
So it'd be a d20 plus 1.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Bless you.
All right, and you have reached the point where your hands are magic, right?
Yeah,
Also, you can use your spear for this.
but I don't want to rely on it too much.
I haven't relied on it at all yet.
Not yet.
All right, but yeah, you make a swing with the butt of the crossbow, but it's out of range by the time you shove it forward. And meanwhile, Harvey is not going to spend his reaction to hit the air elemental.
Wait, didn't Torpo summon his Shadow Blade? Can he make this his attack with the Shadow Blade and not the crossbow?
Crossbow needs
crossbow.
2 hands, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Harvey is not going to use his reaction for that. Instead, he's going to use his reaction to cast Featherfall on the errant crew member.
We'll save you too, buddy.
Aurelia.
Oh man, saving people before I get the chance to.
Um,
So sorry, wait. Where are the air elementals relative to us now, height-wise?
60?
Well, one of them is at 60. One of them is at 70. And the one that was mind controlled is at 120.
Huh. We need a 3D map.
I'm doing my best with these little dots.
Okay, well, Aurelia's gonna go and pick. I mean, I assume Red Hair can handle a second on his back, right?
Sure.
He's a big boy. So Aurelia's gonna go pick up the crew member, even though he's been featherfalled, just because.
better safe than sorry.
Yeah, better safe than sorry. Obviously, the Guardian is
It's gonna be
not
too
really
heavy.
an option.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about whether Because see, I can cast fly on the guardian since it is a creature, and then it will be able to fly, which may be useful to us potentially.
Yeah, that would actually probably be a lot more useful than me trying to keep constantly diving after it.
Yeah, so I think she's just gonna move a little bit closer because I'm pretty sure she has enough move. Oh fuck! Pretty sure she has enough movement for that. And oh no, wait, okay. Well,
I mean, he can come along. We'll assume that he's coming along.
yeah, and she casts fly on the. Oh fuck, fly's concentration too. Oh god, so many concentration spells. Oh well.
That's why. Because they're all awesome.
Yeah, she casts fly on the shield guardian.
Whoop.
All right.
I guess. Right.
I assume when she casts spells with her loot that she just casts them at their normal level, right?
Yeah. Unless it
Okay.
says otherwise.
Right. Oh yeah, like it says for cure wounds that you cast it at a higher level, right? Okay.
All right. Well, Aurelia's going down, dramatically saving the day.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that brings back to Harvey. And Harvey's got his own scorching rays to fire, so he'll fire them up at the air elemental that he's been concentrating on. He gets a +8 to hit, so
Holy shit!
he,
Destroyed.
he is showing Lorem how it's done. He fires enough fire at it to cause it to scatter and vanish entirely. Grenache.
Well,
There's not much life left in the one directly above your head.
yeah. So, I mean, might as well fire off a guiding bolt at it.
All right.
Nothing else I got as the range for it right now.
That just hits. Roll damage.
Okay. Oof. I don't like those ones.
Terrible roll, but at this point, more than enough to make it die. So at this point, the only one that's left is the one that's currently being mind controlled by. Is the one that's currently being mind controlled by Harvey.
Well, nothing I can do right now about that one, so.
So as the flying party members fly back onto deck, the shield guardian with a thump but no comments, and Aurelia presumably with a flourish.
Always.
Harvey looks around and says, "At this point, I could tell it to go away, and it'll keep going in one direction until it's no longer our problem. Or I could have it stick around long enough for everybody to jump it and kill it."
Send it away. Oh, I'm not there. I don't get a vote.
You get to hear, but you don't. But you would have to shout.
I
these
say
things-
just tell it to fuck off.
Are these things like actually evil? Like, why did they attack
I
us?
think we
anyway?
were just messing around
think
in
they're
their
being
territory.
territorial.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Elementals that aren't on their plane are generally grumpy and easily agitated.
Right.
They don't
right.
quite understand what all the other elements are doing around them. So, yes, when you encounter them in the wild, they'll often become aggressive very quickly, like they did to us.
All right. Maybe just
As
tell it to go up.
Just tell it to fuck off.
Yeah, less likely to run into more people up there. It can hang out with the ozone elementals.
all right, well, it can keep control of its mind for some time. And by that point, probably won't be anybody's problem.
If it works, it works.
Yep, concentration up to 1 hour.
Can't wait till I get that spell. I have Dominate Person, but I haven't got a chance to use it yet.
So yeah, the tells the air elemental to fly straight up for nearly 1 hour, and it will do so at a rate of 90, or it'll dash. So yeah, at a rate of 180 feet per 6 seconds.
Okay, so hold on 1
30
second.
feet a second.
180 times 6.
Oh god, Colin's
Wait,
doing
no,
math.
180
Divided by 6.
divided by 6 times 60 times 60. 108,000 feet. Give or take.
That's that is definitely enough to get it up past the air envelope, I think. Of course, it takes the air with it, so it won't really notice. But that'll be something once it finally gets control of itself.
Look around like, what the fuck? Where am I now? What is this place?
That's it knows what's happening. I mean, that's the
That's the horrible part.
that's the
Oh,
horror
God.
of a dominate spell. It's that you know what's happening to you. You just can't do anything about it.
I think that might be the first time an elemental has got terrified. I can imagine that thing being scarred for life now.
All right, but yeah. So the crewman you saved, by the way, was the Rogothi veteran.
Ah,
Yeah.
damn it. We should have just let him die. I'm kidding. No, he's great. He's got tons
Oh,
of
now he's got another
interesting
story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
He's
does.
great when
He
he's
can
not
travel.
talking.
He can travel the rest of Relgoth, telling them about the person who saved his life and how she's the best leader of any.
No, he's gonna mostly talk
city-state.
about how he got slammed by an elemental and thrown off a boat. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's all about him.
He tends to focus on the negative shit as well, so, you know.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, a girl can dream, but at the end of the day, he'll probably just talk about the gruesome details.
That we'll try and flirt with him now.
All right. The next event takes place during the morning shift. So, Lake, you said you like to sleep in, so roll with disadvantage. Everyone else roll normally for perception to see where you are.
Okay, hold on. Let me
So this
reset
is
my.
next morning, you said?
I'm not fucking 20.
Yes, and
Wow, and that 20 from.
Not bad for a disadvantage roll.
That's pretty good for a disadvantage. Really.
yes, and so Harvey is also recharging. He likes to do so in the back where fewer people will disturb him. But considering that you need plenty of rest as a spellcaster, you are still in your cabin with an 11. And Grunash is definitely on deck, and so is Lily. And Aurelia, What does Aurelia normally do to pass the time when she's not in charge of anything?
Aurelia's always in charge of something, so there's your first mistake. Other than that,
Well, when you're not
uh,
micromanaging.
I see, of course. When I'm, when I'm delegating, she probably is either like reading or something, or perhaps, playing with Errol or something like that.
All right. Well, choose one or the other for this one.
Okay, I'll roll for it. Okay, she's reading in her cabin.
All right, well, move yourself down there.
Sleeping.
Okay. Those of you who are on deck, the day starts out fairly well. It's fairly early morning. The sun is still creeping up just above the horizon. And it's at one of those interesting angles where it manages to light the clouds from underneath. And so you see interesting just sort of shades cast up into the sky above you. Now, it's been some time since you were near any sort of shore or even an island, and so you don't really see any birds per se anymore. But there are exceptions to this. One of them, namely, being albatrosses. You might not have known this before, but you've come to realize that albatrosses have the ability to fly between continents because you've seen a fair number of them flying just at your altitude, a little above or a little below.
Lily, please put down the crossbow. Please.
But it's so tempting.
Lily, please. I know how this ends.
Well, regardless of character superstitions, Errol has no problem hunting albatrosses
Oh
for
yeah, that's
food.
fine. Of course, he's allowed.
They're distinctly bigger than he is, but he's got a poison stinger and some vicious teeth, and a bit more maneuverability since albatrosses are sort of built for endurance rather than agility. So yeah, Errol has been catching a few of them.
Okay, but I want to make sure, and I'm going to tell him, don't catch more than you need to eat, okay?
I personally want to catch some because it would just be a change of pace.
Well, you
Mm.
can get in some target practice firing on them. I mean, it is a very interesting attempt, what with the wind and your relative velocities. It's great for practicing your aim.
Exactly, it's perfect. This is why I should
Even
do it.
even at your level, firing from a moving target to a moving target in high wind is a difficult job. But in this case, you've put the crossbow down because Errol found this one first. And then those of you on deck get a feeling of surprise. This is not your own surprise, it is the emotional communication coming from Errol. You're familiar enough to know what that feels like. And then then the surprise is sort of followed by wonder. And then the wonder is followed by a sense of, it's a bit hard to say, but it's a bit like awe. And then the albatross just sort of changes direction, and starts flying with Errol off one wing, almost like an escort, bringing the albatross in.
Is it a fucking
Oh, shit.
druid? It's a fucking druid.
Lake, get your
I
ass
sh-
up there a minute.
I should have shot it. I should have fucking shot it.
Maybe, but too late now.
What?
Can't trust a wizard, and you definitely can't
We
trust a
might have
hippie
a-
wizard.
We might have another of your people coming in.
Oh,
Okay, I assume
no,
if the show is
no,
loud
they're
enough,
all
like,
in Okar.
Aurelia can also hear.
Your other people.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking
There's-
about. They're all in
I point to
Okar.
the albatross.
Oh, you mean a fucking druid? Okay, yes, I guess. Alright, yeah.
Should have shot it.
I mean,
Maybe.
I appreciate you not.
The albatross lands on deck. Errol is next to it. And it just sort of unkinks its wings and folds them back. Takes a look around. Then says, "A fine vessel you have here. Where did you get it? Did you make it?"
Wait, is it still a
Found
bird?
it.
It is still a bird.
Oh,
We found
Nice.
it.
Lake, you know from personal experience that you can only produce animal sounds when you are in the shape of an animal.
guys, this isn't a druid.
You know what? I can trust it more.
Okay.
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 So who are you?
Yes. Oh, forgive my manners. You can call me Shauna Sorvin Vendrixelar.
Sonus Sorvin.
Sorry, one more time?
Pixelar?
That's the name I'm not gonna
Shauna Sorvin
remember.
Vendrixelar.
I'll just
But
tell
you
you,
can just call
Sean.
me short. You can just call me Sean for short.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, Shauna Sorvin Drixelar.
Alright, yeah,
How do
we.
you spell that?
But if you please,
Spelled the way it sounds. Like
Just
would you mind
phonetically.
would you mind answering my question?
I
You found
mean,
it?
we found it, yeah.
Did you?
Technically,
Because
yes.
I've been all across this world. Haven't seen nothing like this.
it's because it might not be of this world. Okay,
It was built
definitely
by
isn't of this world.
aliens.
Fascinating. So then, where did it come from?
Somewhere else.
The aliens.
Oh, you can't just say
Like-
something like that and
Like shrugs.
expect me to be satisfied.
Well, we don't know the world it comes from.
Okay, maybe since we're answering your questions, you could answer our questions. Where do you come from exactly, and why are you a bird?
All right. I suppose it would help if I were a human or humanoid form.
Well, no, actually, I think it's kind of cool that you're a bird. I just was curious about why or
but-
how.
But before you're able to finish, the bird Sean has transformed into a fairly tall, rather handsome human, male, sort of a tanned, dark shade of skin, more like what you would expect from a northern human on your continent.
Right.
Dark
But
hair.
not like the really dark people who come in the ships, right?
No, not quite that dark.
Okay.
But yeah, and so he appears fully formed in fairly simple but well-made clothing. A big flowing shirt, the kind that duelists wear. Pants that look like they belong perfectly on a ship. Tight enough so they don't catch on anything, but loose enough so that you can run around if you need to. And he provides an exaggerated bow to both sides. For say, and then says, "So, who do I have the fine fortune of meeting here?"
Aurelia introduces herself with her full title, obviously, as always.
Like, just sighs and goes, I'm like,
If you want to go back to bed, like, that's
no,
Probably
no, it's
fine.
fine. I need to be up anyway.
Okay.
Bleeding's not probably great for me.
As long as combat doesn't begin, you'll get your spells back.
Yeah.
I go by the name of Grunash.
And I am Lily, thief extraordinaire.
Lovely. You said Vienna, right? What?
Yes.
I believe I've been there once or twice. Never had the fortune of meeting the folks in charge. And that was some time ago.
Well, I wouldn't have been in charge at that point.
Well, I imagine. Most likely it was before you were even born. Haven't been down to Kara's deck in some time.
Wait,
Apparently
wait.
I've been missing something.
How old does he look?
25 at most.
Okay.
Some sort of a immortal wizard super
I-
druid.
Well, okay. I'm thinking back to the part where Errol saw him and was like in awe of him. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe this is a dragon. But
Oh shit. Yeah, that would be a question.
I don't think in character, because I believe Bobbin has said in character we don't know about
Yeah,
the
we don't.
dragons
Yeah,
who
we
are-
don't know about the shiny
that shit.
dragons.
Yeah, so you may suspect that this is some sort of dragon. You've heard tales of them taking other forms.
I have
But if you
literally seen
do-
one take another form.
Yes. But if that is what you're thinking, then you are thinking that it is one of the evil, selfish, colored dragons.
Fair enough.
Don't
I
say it
don't
like
think
that.
Aurelia. I mean, Aurelia was not actually a witness to the thing with Errol, so I don't think she's thinking that. That was just what I was thinking out of character.
You
In
should
character, she
call them
probably
chromatic instead of color.
yeah. In character, I think Aurelia just thinks he's got
Lying
some
or
power,
drugs or
cool wizard or
something.
something. I don't know.
Right.
Seems this
I-
world is full of surprises.
Since you mentioned, how old are you anyway?
Well, I stopped counting after the first 500.
Nice, nice.
Okay.
Are you a wizard?
No. Well, I do know a spell or two, but it's not something I ever needed to study.
So you're a sorcerer.
Of a sort, certainly.
Hmm.
Look, I'll tell you where we got this if you tell us what you are.
All right. Well, I might ask you to stand back then.
Oh no.
Jesus.
Okay.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Son of a bitch.
You're all shiny.
You know what? Maybe I would trust the
I am
druid more.
indeed.
Wait, why'd you lose your accent?
So kind of you to notice.
Oh, okay.
Huh.
I'm what they call a bronze dragon, on account of the bronze color of my scales and the way they turn green as I age.
I lean into Grunesh and I go, I didn't know they came in bronze.
I
Oh,
don't know dragons.
Oh, they don't. Not where you're from. Where
Yeah,
you're from, they come in colors. Red, black, white, blue, and green. I come from another continent entirely, where the dragons respect the lesser folk and stay out of their way for the most part.
Okay,
They are fond of the occasional shiny thing or two as well.
internally, Lake is insulted by being called lesser folk. Externally, he's not saying a damn thing. This is a dragon.
Man, I wish the dragon I met.
Aurelia assumes that he's not talking about her, obviously. She wouldn't be
Man.
lesser folk.
I wish the dragon I met was as personable as you, and didn't try
And
to eat
not-
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
So
No,
you're not
no,
like
I mean
a
the
fan
dragon I met.
of the let's call them jerk dragons who live where we do, right?
I can't say as I'm a fan or not a fan.
I
I
see.
don't
Okay.
really encounter them enough to form an opinion. And I prefer
You
to
know
do
what?
so on a person-to-person basis anyway.
All right. I just wanted to
That
check
makes
because we
sense.
did kill one once when it attacked us. I
And
just
you
wanted to make
killed
sure
one.
he was
I
fine.
also almost got killed by a white dragon, an adult white dragon.
Ah, you must have some such stories to tell.
Like slowly starts trying to hide the necklace of dragon's teeth that they made.
Yeah, Aurelia's literally wearing dragon scales. So
Yeah,
that's
same
probably...
actually. So Link is slowly also starting to close the ropes.
That's why she was asking questions.
Okay.
If you don't mind, it's a bit cumbersome to be in this form and talking to folks such as you.
No, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
no,
okay.
that's
Be a
fair.
human
Yeah.
or a albatross or whatever you
You do
prefer.
you.
So he shifts back into his human form.
I was hoping for albatross, but that's fine too.
Okay, but
So, out of curiosity,
since you were honest with us, Grenache, before you ask anything, I need to keep in mind of the bargain. This was a gift to us from some otherworldly visitors, and that is about the most I can tell you about them.
I mean, I literally already told him that, so
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm
you
saying
do-
like proper.
Well, you would have heard the name of their race, the Githzerai.
The Gitzerai, yes, but I just meant that was mostly the extent to what we knew about them.
Yeah.
Oh, the Githzerai. Well, they must have done them quite the favor. They don't go traveling through the through the void space very often. Mostly they stick to the outer planes.
yeah, we have to deal with a bit of an infestation, unfortunately.
I mean, I guess keeping up with our end of the bargain, if I'm gonna be honest, was less than out of the kindness of our hearts and more trying to keep them from fucking everything up.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
so glad to hear that you stopped them from doing that. I'm rather fond of this planet. I'd be right upset if something were to happen to it.
Same,
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm kind of fond where this planet's where I keep all my stuff.
It has so many shiny things to take.
But speaking
Big-
of which, how much exploring have you done?
This is the first that we've ventured outside of our continent.
Well, then you're in for a right treat out there. All sorts of fascinating folks and civilizations and creatures of every shape, color, and description out there. Anywhere in particular you're headed right now?
I pull up the map and I point out the continent of Kalania. We're aiming for this. Out of curiosity, while I've got this up, by the way, where might you hail from?
Oh, you see those two continents there on the left?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm from the northern one.
Ah, okay.
Ah, brilliant.
There's more of my kind there, and we come in more colors than just bronze, you know. Or more
Are they as
metals, I
friendly
should
as
say.
yourself?
Oh yes, there's also brass, silver, copper, gold. Oh, the gold ones are especially big and potent.
Yeah, that lake, more shiny ones.
Dang.
And, as you said, we all tend to be a little more personable than the kind that are on your continent. But if you ever come face to face with a gold, make sure you treat him with respect. Even so. It's
I think it would be hard not to, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, sometimes they go about not quite in their own form. So, as the saying goes, just be kind to everyone you meet. 'Cause you never know which of them might be a dragon.
Look, it's fine. I
That's
have
fair.
a general
That's a good
policy of
saying.
only being a dick to you if you're a dick to me. It's fine.
Well, it's a fine policy to have. So, Colonia, though. Only been there a few times over the centuries. There's a society of humans there, and not much else.
Hmm.
There's something in the soil, I think, that makes magic hard to grow there.
Yeah, that is what we've been hearing. Are the people
Yeah.
friendly there at all, or can we expect hostility from them? Would you know that?
Well, they're certainly friendly enough to each other, but as to outsiders, I wouldn't be so reliant on their goodwill.
Understandable.
Doesn't help that none of us are exactly human.
Yes, and none
I
of
mean,
you, and even those of you who could pass as a human aren't exactly the right color of skin. You'd stick out
True.
like a sore thumb no matter what. So unless you've got some sort of magic that can consume all of you at once, I'd recommend staying away from the major ports for your landing. You're likely to be shot out of the sky.
right.
Cool.
So if you're going to explore the continent, not necessarily with permission, then I'd recommend picking a spot like around there. And he points to a spot near the northern end of the continent.
Okay.
Thank you
Yes.
for his wisdom and advice.
Yes, it's really a lot of that continent is desert. And that spot happens to be a little greener than usual, but still doesn't have much of a population. You should be able to land there unmolested. So long as you stay out of the major population centers, you might be able to get in and get out without anyone being the wiser. Or at least not anyone with a lot of guns at their disposal.
Guns, you say? What are those?
Oh, I know you've got cannons over where you are.
I mean, I don't know. Did he use a word that I would recognize? I was just kind of
Oh, no,
assuming
no.
we wouldn't know what they were called.
Well, I'm still being in character here.
Fair enough.
Well, I know you've got cannons down where you are from. Well, they've, without any magic, they've really doubled down on the technology. As far as I know, they've got more of it than anybody else on the entire planet. As such, they've managed to miniaturize their cannons to the point where a single person can carry it around with them.
Miniature.
I
Load it
want
up.
one.
Load it up and fire it right from the shoulder.
I want one. That sounds rad.
That sounds awesome, actually. Yeah.
Hmm.
Terry Pratchett.
It's a shame the people are inhospitable. Sounds like an interesting place.
Well, it has to do with that magic, actually. They're aware that magic exists. It's hard not to know about it. They're just also aware that whatever it is, it's not something they can do. So, well, frankly, they're afraid of what could happen if folks such as you. I notice that all of you have some amount of magic among you. Well, they're afraid of what would happen if you were to just let yourselves loose on the continent.
Huh.
Accompanied
Joke's
by
on them, because I'm pretty sure they fucking own us since they resist all of it.
Oh, well, so far at least, no one's really put it to the test. Their continent is so far away from everybody else that they're the only ones with ships powerful enough to actually get there and back safely.
I want to steal a gun.
Well, you might have a chance. Actually, easy enough to find.
They're common there?
Oh, yes, yes. That's the advantage of technology, you see. Everybody can use it.
Huh.
Doesn't require years of study or dedication that most forms of magic demand.
Interesting. Interesting. So you're saying that anybody can use this, no matter their. Okay. Yes.
Well, you still need to know how to load the thing and how to clean it and all of that.
Yeah, but you can learn that stuff.
Yeah, it's much easier than learning how to use most other weapons.
I mean, you say that.
Well, that's why there's only one nation on that continent. They're the ones who came up with usable hand cannons first, and so they used them. Took over the rest of the island.
Real Hawaii hours.
But hey, let me just say that if you ever felt like going elsewhere, I could tell you a bit about the rest of the continents here.
I mean, if you don't mind, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
the more we know.
Grenache, can you hand him the map? And maybe
I've
some
already got
writing?
it out.
Maybe something to write with too.
The map is number 1 already out, and number 2.
Yeah.
Yep, I got my
Sean
cartography
pointed
tools.
to a point on it when he was describing
Yeah.
Kalania.
I'm aware. I'm just saying something to write on the map with.
Yeah, plus I got my cartography tools, so I've got that all ready and prepared.
I like how all the continents start with K except for one.
It's a reference to Earth,
Okay.
where all the continents start with A except for one.
Hmm. The worst one.
Look, to be fair, C is basically K.
It is.
And E is sometimes A.
Exactly.
Hmm.
All right, but yes. So up
Thanks for
there,
the set with my continent, everyone.
up there in Canlius. Now, I suppose you all know about the elves. They come from your continent, right?
Hmm.
I just thumb over to Aurelia. I think we know.
I'm not an elf. I'm
You're
half
part elf.
a lad.
Basically
no,
an elf.
No, the
Basically an elf.
Basically an
elves
elf.
are rip-offs. Elves are cheap rip-offs of me.
Basically an elf. Got it.
Basically an elf.
Well, I suppose that explains the hair. Honestly, I kind of thought you dyed it.
Nope,
Anyway.
all natural, baby.
If you know about the elves, would you happen to know about the gray elves?
Yeah, they're assholes.
Uh,
So we've heard. Have we met any?
Yeah,
I
we
can't
met the
remember.
assholes. They remembered they tried to enslave the.
Also,
I
one
mean,
of them
the
was
gift.
in your party for a while.
They're okay. There's one cool gray elf.
I never met him. Fucker great elves.
her, but yeah.
And yes, you did actually meet the elves. They were at the Githzerite monastery.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. Remember them?
You killed 2 of them and then took their stuff.
Oh, that's right. I
Oh,
killed
yeah.
them. I remember murdering them.
Oh, right, yeah. We're not best friends with them, I suppose.
Well, you're in good company then. They're not good friends with anybody except themselves. But you see
Makes sense.
the east part of the continent there.
Yep.
The part with the the dotted lines must be an archipelago, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the islands are.
And that's where they're from, is it?
Well, not from, but that's where they live.
No, well. Either
Yes,
way.
They came up north after that big war with the rest of their elven brethren, and they settled around the islands and around the part of the continent that surrounds it, and they went and took it over. Humans, a few other humanoids, uh, they rule over them like slaves. Either you're an elf or you're a slave.
Okay, so...
That's disgusting. I would never condone something like slavery. People should be serfs instead.
Also, to be fair, you're basically a human, so they still wouldn't like you.
Yeah.
Oh, Aurelia? Yeah, obviously. They're rip-offs. Aurelia's too pure for them.
You're basically a human. They don't like humans.
Disagree.
So...
You're basically a human. They don't like humans.
So mental note of that place, avoid it at all costs, and if you do have to go there, make sure to leave something that leaves it destroyed if you can.
Put too fine a point on it, you're basically a mulatto to them.
I mean,
yes, but the half of me that is elven is more pure elven than they are, so checkmate.
also, I mean, let's be
Still
real
said
here.
Elven.
Knowing the trend of things and how they've gone, we're gonna end up there somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, if we have to go there, make sure to
I mean, the game
leave
is
something
called
behind that
Wanderings. We're
destroys it.
probably gonna visit parts of the rest of the world.
Oh no, in character, that was Lily just going, God, it's so much bullshit we've gone through.
But it's worth noting, by the way, that the elves aren't united. Well, they're split up into their own little fiefdoms. So a bunch of separate kings and queens with their own feudal hierarchies.
Okay, so they're not all bad.
I'm pretty sure they're all bad.
And it sounds all bad.
Actually, from your perspective, feudalism is a bit beyond how your society works. Like a city state is small enough that the difference between you and the other lords is relatively low.
I suppose.
It's a bit ass backwards.
Yeah, so destroy the biggest one, leave the others destroy themselves in the vacuum.
Okay, wow, that got
What?
real very quick.
I'm sorry.
Lake just looks at
Just destroy
Grunash.
elves.
Wait, when did we decide that we're gonna destroy their civilization?
Yeah, what?
No.
2004 of them enforcing slavery.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, yes, but
Okay,
also
I
at the same
mean,
time, maybe
Sure,
before.
that's a little ambitious. I mean, we've had years, adventuring together, and we haven't even destroyed Okar yet. So, like,
I mean, really,
let's
I'd rather
chill
just
out.
take their shit anyway.
To be fair, I think the process of destroying Okar has started with me. So.
Yeah.
Buddy! Okar's been through worse.
Has it though? Has it?
But if you look over on the west end of that continent there, that area is generally ruled over by the Minotaurs.
Minotaur.
Oh shit, I want
Do
to
we
meet a
know what
Minotaur.
Minotaurs are?
I want to
You
meet
would
him.
not.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Fuck's a Minotaur.
Minotaurs sound cool. What the hell's a Minotaur?
What am I rolling?
Centaurs.
Well, you
Wait,
know
do we
what
know what centaurs are?
Well, you know what a cow is.
Yeah.
Yes, I do know what a cow is.
Imagine that you start with the head of the bull, and then the body of a human, and
Mm-hmm.
the legs of a human, and then the feet of the bull.
That sounds pretty fucking cool,
That
actually.
sounds
Okay,
rad.
hold on. Wait. That doesn't work. It would fall over.
Yeah, you'd think that. They've actually got a very good center of gravity.
No,
Very
but
good at finding their way through difficult terrain too.
but the hang on. Aurelia starts sketching out like pictures of human and cow legs. Like, no, that doesn't work. The joints don't work that way.
Oh no, you've got it wrong there. See, the knees are up here. That's actually looks backwards because that's the base of the foot there. And
Right. Okay. So they have cow legs, is what you're saying. You're fucking lying to me.
I said legs of the bull.
I thought you
Bulls
said
and
legs of a human and feet of a bull.
Well, yes, because the top side of it looks a bit more humanoid, and
Okay. So
So
the thighs of a human,
so just
and then the rest of it is like okay,
Just-
that's fine.
just to skip quickly through, there's a lot of back and forth, and furious scribbling on this parchment
Lily just dying in the background.
before there's something resembling an actual minotaur on the page.
Does it have a ring through its nose?
No,
Why would it?
unless you put one there.
I really put one there.
Why would
I just
you
think it looks
do
good.
that?
Okay, jeez, it's my drawing.
The Minotaurs. The Minotaurs were the only major race to really resist against the Elven expansion. That's why the elves haven't taken over the whole area yet.
Okay.
And
Are they chill? What
well,
are they like?
Well, to be honest, they've picked up a lot of elven habits
No.
in the process.
Wait, the good
of
ones or the
resisting.
bad ones?
Well, they've learned a lot of magic as a necessity. The Grey Elves rely very heavily on magic, and so the Minotaurs have learned how to use it and how to stop other people from using it. In fact, they're much better at that second than the elves themselves, seeing as the elves themselves don't want the knowledge of how to stop a wizard getting out.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But in terms of looking on other races as slave folk, they've picked up a lot of that as well.
Shit.
Cool. So that
Maybe
whole
they're
not
continent
smart.
kind of just blows. All right.
They tend to be a bit more on the nomadic side, a bit more of the tribal. And so while the Minotaurs will unite if the elves ever try expanding west, for the most part, they're a pretty fractured bunch. They roam around the landscape, enslaving the lesser folk, taking what they can, living off the land, and then moving on. A bit like wild cattle, I'd say. Not to offend.
Right. Would that offend them? Do they have cows there?
Well, yes, but they're not for eating. They use cows for beasts of burden.
Fair.
Man, they're missing out.
But they're considered sacred.
Understandable.
And
Oh,
They'll say-
they're Hindu minotaurs. Okay.
holy cow.
Still say they're missing out though.
Yeah.
All right. But down here over South Kalagia, now that's an interesting place. Now you can see it's a bit more vertical than the other two continents. Really the other three continents.
Wait,
And,
sorry. Quick question. Were we just talking about
That was
North Kalagia or
no, that
Yeah,
was
we're to Cantius.
Cantius.
that was Cantius?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Canlius.
Oh,
Canlius.
Canlius.
it's an
Sorry,
owl.
I thought that
Okay.
was a T.
I
So
know
did
that's just like a stray bit of pencil lead, I think. But yes, South Kalagia. Now there's an interesting place. Not many of any of you folk down there, anybody with the plain skin without the hair, like no matter what sort of shade it should happen to be.
Oh shit! Is it filled with furries?
Huh?
Well, I suppose they are all mostly furred, yes.
I don't. That wasn't something Aurelius. How would Aurelius know what furries are?
But then, of course, there are plenty of folks down there who also don't have any fur on them. Oh, yes, they come in all sorts down there. Cat folk, dog folk, elephant folk, gibbon folk.
I don't know if it'd be offensive if I tried petting a dog folk.
People folk. Really, it's as if some strange god or other decided that all the animals should rise up and take on a humanoid form.
I mean, it sounds pretty neat, but what's the bad side?
Hmm.
Well, the bad side is that all of them tend to think that their own species is the best.
Ah,
Now-
shit.
Okay,
Now
so
they
they're
do-
like everyone else.
Now, they do mix around quite a bit. But since, well, really none of them really started with any particular territory down there. But none of them can really crossbreed with each other either. So they all stick with their own kind. But I do spend a lot of time down there. It's interesting to take on each shape as you meet a new kind of animal folk that you never knew was there before.
Hmm.
And for a shapeshifter like myself, it's a great place to practice.
You just reminded me that I never followed up with you about whether Aurelia was able to do the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of
I may or may not also be a shapeshifter, depending on what happened that one time.
well, I guess we find out eventually. Okay, so metal note, a lot of beast folk there, a lot of tribal conflict.
I want to pet a dog person. Or a cat person.
Lily wants to pet a dog person.
Lily wants
are
to
they
pet
all-
Lily.
Now, are they all like human-sized, rough?
Oh, well, they are rather influenced by their animal ancestors. Not sure if that's the case, but essentially the cat folk are on the small side, the elephant folk are on the large size.
I see.
It's fine. I can just levitate.
I want to ride an
Hey,
elephant.
maybe you
folk.
can
Or
ride one.
possibly just an elephant. Do they just have regular elephants there? Do I know what elephants are?
No, you've just been sort of assuming that yes, this must be an animal because he's talking about it like it's an animal.
What's an
That-
elephant?
Oh, you haven't seen an elephant.
Oh!
Well,
This
you
should
know a
be the
cow.
blind man describing.
Okay. Yeah, I know a cow.
Well, imagine
Aurelia draws a cow.
imagine if that was twice as big in every dimension.
Okay.
Now it has giant ears that can flap in the wind like a windsock.
Okay. She's slowly sketching over the drawing.
All right, and the legs are 4 times as wide because they have
Uh,
to be to carry all that weight.
Right. Okay. Yeah. The
Right, and it's so far up
square
off the
cube.
ground that it can't just reach down and grab at the foliage like a normal cow can. So
Right.
instead,
Right.
it's
Right.
grown a very long and nimble nose.
You're fucking with
I-
us now. You're lying.
Wait. Are you making this up? Hold on. Wait.
Are
I just
you-
realized there's a much easier way to describe all of these things. You can just transform into them.
No. Oh god.
I like it this
God.
way.
Please don't. Please don't. Also, like, just try and slow down on the accusations there.
I was mostly saying it with a joking tone. I figure he has no reason to lie to us.
It'd be a weird thing to lie about. Yeah.
Like
For his part, he's just sort of chuckling and says, "Well, either you'll see one or you won't. Then you'll know for sure."
Hmm.
okay.
I want to ride one.
Okay. Well, Aurelia continues to make her
Yeah,
best
that one.
effort at drawing one.
He's not even helping you with this one.
I want to pet
It's-
and or ride one.
It's funny. It's funnier this way.
Yeah, the idea of having you see one for the first time in person is just too much for him to too much for him to try and mitigate.
All right.
Fair.
Okay, so what about North
Kalagia.
Kalagia? Yeah, what about North Kalagia?
Oh, up there, it's well, there's more humans, that's for sure. Oh yeah, humans just seem to end up in all sorts of places. Humans and gnomes.
I suppose gnomes you can kind of figure, I suppose.
The humans where I'm from tend to consider honor and duty to the state above all other things, or at least that's the sort of philosophy they practice. You know, whether they manage to put it into actual deeds depends on the individual, as you might expect anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But really can't say there's many places that last for very long. Sort of like that Relgoth region of yours. But they all have a long history, dating back to when everything was just one big empire. And that's how it is that they all share at least a little bit of culture between a lot of them.
Hmm.
But really, it's such a grand place. And there's so much, so many mountains right there in the center, down the middle. And it's hard to say anything about any one of them. You're just going to have to visit them all and find out.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, what I expected.
To be fair, most medieval illustrations of elephants are actually quite accurate. Because I mean, they did know what there
Yeah.
there were elephants in North Africa for a long time. I
Yeah.
think they were. When did they die out? I don't actually know.
I don't remember. They were still around when the pyramids were being built, so
Oh well, yeah, they were around much later than that.
with that
but-
too.
I bring up as we're talking about North Kalagia.
Also used to be tigers in Europe
Yeah.
Hmm,
until the Romans hunted them all.
of course. So that's also where you're from, isn't it? If I remember
Indeed,
right.
it is.
Oh,
And
actually, it
those mo-
became extinct before that. Sorry.
And those mountains I mentioned before. That's mainly where a lot of us are from. You see, this whole center area here, it's just one gigantic plateau. Plenty of land there to go around between us, and not many humans interested in surviving up at that height.
Understandable.
And us dragon folk tend to be very territorial when we finally settle down. Not that I have yet, but those that do, you know. We may be more personable, but we still have our still prefer solitude in general.
Still like your moments of peace and quiet. I can relate to that.
More like a good decade or so at a time.
Well, you probably lived for way longer than I have.
Yeah.
So wouldn't be surprised if you wanted to take a break for longer as well.
He's
Why not?
probably going to outlive. He's probably going to be older than all of us combined by the time he's finally.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if I was already older than all of you combined.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
To be fair,
Yeah.
pretty sure a
And
good chunk
probably
of us are
outlive
pretty
us.
young.
Would still outlive us.
We'll see about that.
Okay, well maybe not you. You
No, I mean Aurelia plans to live forever, so it's fine.
Oh, so you're going to become a lich. Okay.
No.
Yeah, as I say,
Maybe-
Lily has
maybe
no
not
such
forever.
delusions.
Not forever. Just a long time.
Okay, so again, a lich. Got it.
No, that would be
There is
lame.
Aurelia
There's
is.
actually a way for wizards to live indefinitely without turning to undeath.
Wait, just wizards?
Well, wizards and anyone who can cast the wish spell,
Oh, I can get wish.
because wish allows you to duplicate any 8th level spell or lower. And the spell I'm talking about is clone, which is
Oh.
Wait, how does
Some
that
real sketchy shit.
clone allows you to create a soulless copy of yourself that, should you die, will be inhabited by your soul.
work? Oh, I see. The Palpatine maneuver.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Fuck, I wish I didn't know that.
and your new clone body can be any age you specify.
Again, the Palpatine maneuver.
But I mean, honestly, Aurelia might be. I don't know. She needs to figure that out. What her lifespan is.
I don't know. I can only imagine Aurelia would instead try aging gracefully.
Well, I don't think she has to age at all, but
And I mean, like, Lake's gonna
That's-
turn into a tree one day, so so really, he's gonna. They're
Well,
gonna
look,
outlive
Or-
all y'all.
or you cannot go back to your.
Lake's
abusive-
gonna turn into a tree one day, so
Okay.
they're gonna
cool.
outlive all
Lily's just
y'all.
gonna live fast and die young. It's how it is.
Make your mark while you still can.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, especially for you, Lick, because by the time you get old, you'll be all bark and no bite.
Did you just make a joke? I'm so proud of you.
Right. So. Right. So that's the quick version of the continents. Do you have any other questions you wanted to ask?
Yeah, actually, now that I think of it, I see another two archipelagos on this map. Here, with is marked as an ocean between Canlius and North Calagia,
Yes,
and then
that's
there's
right.
another one just north of the South Calagia.
Yes, that's right.
Anything in particular about these two areas?
Well, it's there's a real mix of cultures there, as you might imagine. A lot of island hoppers finding new places to live. A lot of trade moving back and forth between the different continents, with stopovers at the major ports along the way.
Hmm.
At least that's the one up there in the Ocean of Ursa. As for the one down near South Kalagia, well, that's where more of the beast folk from the sea tend to dwell.
I see.
I understand there's quite a few intelligent species down in the depths. And, well, they had a few extra more. They had a few more over there.
Nothing good
Yeah.
comes from the ocean.
I wonder if they're anything like the ones we ran into.
Oh, you ran into some.
Yeah, it was uh, 2 years back? Yeah, 2 years?
Something like
I'm looking
that.
to lake. Yeah,
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, we had to deal with a problem that was manifesting in our oceans.
So
I
very
indicate
glad.
where, yeah, I indicate where all this roughly happened.
Yeah,
So very glad I could not witness that.
just off the continental shelf near the Narathak archipelago.
Yeah.
All right, so okay, so you met the
Sound-
deep ones, you met the shark folk, and you met the
Sounds like hell.
Tritons. Now, Tritons are interesting folks. I've actually been down into the depths. I can breathe underwater if I change into the right form, you know. And so I've explored the depths now and again. It's not quite as interesting as the surface, I find.
There's a lot more blue, that's for certain. I've
Until it
still got
until it
I've still got
becomes
some
black,
potions.
of course.
Yeah. I've still got some potions just in case we need to venture down there again.
Wonder if they've gone off by now.
Did they go off?
That's a question for the ages.
Yeah. Do potions
You-
actually
You uncork it. Ah, it's skunked.
Oh god, it smells like lake.
Hey,
You're a druid.
not by choice.
You were a warlock to a tree.
Again, kind of not by choice. A little bit.
Uh,
I said a little
I
bit,
mean-
kind of.
no, no,
Not
it's pretty much
originally.
entirely by choice.
Not originally.
Okay.
Not initially, yes. Okay.
All right, but yeah, Tritons are interesting folk. From what I understand, they come from another dimension. They're down there to protect the depths from things even worse than those that dwell there right now.
Yeah, they mysteriously vanished, and we had to see what happened to them, basically. And from what we gathered, it was one of those threats that was involved in it.
Really? Well, you folks have been right helpful to this world, haven't you?
Man,
Yes.
sounds fucking terrible.
So
I don't know how y'all did that.
Well, actually,
very carefully.
that brings up an interesting thought. Now, you wouldn't happen to have any spare magic items lying around, would you? I'd be willing-
Do have a couple spare ones.
We do
And-
Yeah,
have
I
quite
have
few
a spare one you
ones.
could have if you want it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite nice. I might be a traveling dragon, but I do still appreciate a good hoard.
I mean, if you want, you could have this lovely wand of web, gently used.
Hold on, wait. I need to remember which ones are family.
The belt of giant strength was a family heirloom, and I think everybody else
Yeah.
is wearing or using your family heirlooms.
There was a third one. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
sword which really
You're using the
was the belt.
sword, and then there's the belt, and then there was the bag of holding.
Is anyone using the headband or whatever it was, the head intelligence thing?
Yeah, I'm using that, but that wasn't one
Okay.
of Aurelia's family heirlooms.
That's the one you killed the elves to get.
Yeah, no. I'm just wondering if anyone was using that.
Was the
in case we could
cloak
give it
a
away.
family heirloom?
I don't think so.
I think that's something I picked up very early on.
Yeah. I think everybody else is either using the family heirlooms or
Whoop.
or
Yeah,
Oh, right.
Mess-
He's
sorry,
switching
I'm messing
pages
with
on
your
me.
sheet.
Yeah.
Look, everything of mine is technically not mine. It's great.
Yeah, that's fine. Just as long as we don't give away
Let's
any family
see.
heirlooms.
I'm giving away the wand of web, though. I mean, he can have
Remember
some.
that
Yeah.
temper is a spear, not a staff.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But sorry, was he going to give us something in exchange, or just?
No, I think he's just
Oh, here it
asking
is.
for payment.
It's a kindness because he's been
Yes.
nice to us and given us a shitload of
Oh.
information.
Yeah.
Sure.
ring-
The
The ring of free action is the third item.
okay. Who's using that, Lily?
No.
All my shit is my
Grunash?
own.
I don't have any.
I don't think
have
anybody. I don't think anybody's
Oh.
using it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll add it to the list then.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm willing to buy some items off of you in gold. Yeah. And if you can give me 2 magic items, I've got just the thing I can give to you.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Shit.
And-
What's my shit?
Yo, fucking pick something. I'm already giving up my wand of web.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
pearl.
wand.
The pearl. I don't think we have to attune to that, right? And then like.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not using mine anymore because it's honestly just not that powerful. If it
Yeah, yeah, it's
goes
only
to third level.
Yeah, it only
spells.
goes to the third level spells. I don't think any of us are using either of the pearls. So
I mean, I've got spears I'm not using, so
Yeah, we
Well,
can give them the
okay, let's use
pearls.
them,
Those
yeah.
are nice for dragons, right?
yeah.
Well, as you're discussing this, Sean pulls out a short rod out of a pack that was on his back. Apparently, that's one of the reasons he chose the humanoid form. It's because the pack would sort of phase into him for the bird form. Yeah, he pulls out
Clever.
a fairly short rod, about maybe a foot and a half wide, and it's got a conspicuous button.
Oh, I know what he's giving us out of character, and it's so good.
And he just holds it up in front of him and says, "Watch this." Click, click. And he starts moving the rod back. Then he lets go, and the rod keeps moving back.
Oh, it's a different version. Oh, it's the opposite of the immovable rod.
Oh no!
Oh no!
We're on a ship.
We
We're
are on a ship. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. I forgot that the ship was moving.
I
forgot the
figured out
ship-
what it was as well, and
I thought it was
Bobbin would
different.
take that into account or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I was all
So,
ready
yeah.
to call him out and everything.
So before it goes past the edge of the ship, he runs over, grabs it, click, click, and pulls it back down from where it was.
Oh, that rules. Oh, I want it.
This here is what you would call an immovable rod. You place it wherever you want. You push this button here, and it won't move. Not for anything, not for nobody. Now, it is possible to move it despite what they say, but you have to be incredibly powerful to do so. And when I say incredibly powerful, I mean one of the greatest of giants or one of the strongest of dragons could move this rod. And that's about it.
Oh, I want it. Oh, I want it.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, Pearl and what do I have personally that I am willing to give up for this? The Iron Stone of Protection.
I don't mind if you give up the other pearl.
Okay, yeah, let's just give up both pearls.
It's just in the common pool now. I don't think we're really keeping track for the most part of who owns what items.
Yeah.
Besides ones that are of like particular
like
value to our characters.
Or attuned to us. Yeah, yeah.
and like
No,
I
I
already
mean we're
have a
keeping track of the
set-
ones we're using. I don't really care about any of the items other than the ones that in the story are Aurelia's family heirlooms, which you will not.
Oh yeah, I understand that you
the
wouldn't give.
whole-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should probably mark those if they're in the common pool.
I actually just did mark them. I put family heirloom next to them.
Okay, that's fair. Magic items and valuable pearls all at once. Thank you kindly. The rod is yours.
I take it.
That's fair enough.
It's so good.
No attunement required.
No, it's not. It's great. You just push a button. It's so dumb, but it's so good.
Is that one of those things that was made on that continent? on that
Probably not
colonial.
because it's magic.
Yeah.
I mean, it is using a button.
I mean, it's clearly just made by a bored
It's a
wizard.
magic button.
Oh yes, it's definitely magic. And if I were to hazard a
Hmm.
guess, I would say it was probably made by one of the elven kingdoms up in Canlius.
Mm,
Definitely a bored wizard.
definitely a bored wizard.
They've got magic to
Maybe a bored sorcerer.
well, they've got magic to spare up there. A lot of wizards go into otherwise mundane fields of study.
If only it did that more often. Maybe then it wouldn't need slaves.
Well, they only move into such positions because all the positions of powers are already occupied by even more powerful wizards.
Ah, yes, you just kill a wizard and step into their level 8 shoes.
Something like that.
Hmm.
Do shoes have levels?
I mean, I was making another Discworld reference.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah,
It's an older reference, but it checks out.
Oh yeah, some shoes have level 2 heals,
Yeah.
level 4 heals, level 6 heals.
Wow. Fancy.
Hmm.
They had to be the women in those heels.
If they end with points, then they are rogue heals.
Well, maybe Lily might be interested in them then.
Fuck no.
Right. Good doing business with you. A fine ship you have. But if you have no more questions, then I have got some more wuthering to do.
Actually, I have a weird request. I have a weird request. Could you transform into a dragon so I could pet you?
Oh, I was gonna ask if you could transform back into a dragon so I could draw him.
Well, I'm at least dragon enough to appreciate a bit of flattery.
God. We're all children.
By the way, I noticed that none of you seem to be bonded with the little one here.
Bonded? Well, I mean, he's my. Well, I don't want to call him a pet. I mean, he is quite intelligent. He's more of a friend who I feed.
To be fair, that describes most people in this party.
Well, yes. I mean, I do
Fine.
think of all of you approximately the same way I think of. So.
I pay for myself. Fuck off.
What do you mean bond? How does that work?
Well, the little ones like this have the ability to bond with a master of sorts. Like you said, master is perhaps not the right word, but it works similar to how a wizard has a familiar.
Oh, sick.
The pseudo dragons will always be a bit more willful than a spirit conjured from a different plane. But they can share their abilities with you. So, how about it? Haven't you bonded with any of the folks here? So then all of you get this mental image of a metal bar located high above your heads. So you're one that
Wait.
has the high standards.
I go over to Errol and I put up my hand for a high five.
Aurelia is a little bit upset.
Errol turns his head when you approach. But
Don't leave me hanging, come on.
Sean continues. So so if none of them have met your standards yet, so what kind of feat would they have to accomplish for you to consider bonding with one of them?
Okay,
And
with
then you
me
see-
specifically. No one cares about the rest of them.
Anyway.
And you wonder why he hasn't bonded.
Yeah.
Sean does not know the whole story anyway. But you see another image this time, and it's frankly rather explicit.
Okay.
Oh, so you want one of them to find a mate for you?
Oh.
You could have just told me, buddy.
Can't believe the bar we have to clear is to get him some ass.
Okay, what kind of mate are you interested in?
Well, I imagine he's not too picky. Like the true dragons, a pseudo dragon is a rather solitary sort. They don't bond for life, and they don't mate for long. But
Oh, so he just wants to get laid. Okay.
Yes! I thought that was obvious!
Well, he said mate.
not mate for life, mate for a time.
Right. Okay.
But you might have trouble finding another one. Like myself, the pseudo dragons enjoy traveling all across the world.
Well, I'll keep an eye out.
And since they do so on their own, you sort of have to chance into finding one again, unless you have the right magic to find a second.
And what kind of magic would that be?
Well, assuming Lake doesn't tell you, you can roll Arcane.
Blake's not telling.
Fuck.
Scrying.
Just
Right. Okay.
Scrying would work.
Oh.
If
Damn it.
only we hadn't ruined the life of that guy who's really good at scrying.
I don't
I'm
regret
sure
it.
there are others. There are others, I'm sure.
Just
You have
Lily-
a diviner on board.
Wait, we do?
Yes! He's the guy only I like!
He's a diviner? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I'm gonna go ask him. He can
He's
make up.
currently piloting the ship.
Yeah, not right now. All right. Well, I appreciate the hint, Sean.
And Grenache, it's clear what you saw. Like I said, it was very explicit.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just trying to not comprehend what just
Also,
happened.
did we
Fucking-
establish?
It's,
I forget. Errol
actually
is
kind of
male,
interest-
right? It wasn't one of those things where I named him Errol and then discovered he was a girl.
Well, you named him
Okay.
Errol and then discovered that it was a boy.
Okay, cool.
I made a roll for it.
Right. Okay. Okay, so probably a girl then. I mean, at least if he wants to mate to have kids.
It's actually kind of interesting. They sort of dock like ducks do.
Okay, well,
Just
didn't
gotta-
really need the
Hey.
description personally,
Hey.
but
Just
Hey.
saying that's what your character saw.
Hey Aurelia, you just gotta be his wing woman.
yes,
away.
that is the idea.
All right.
All right, well,
Gotta
thanks for the
help your
tip.
little dragon buddy slay some mad pussy.
Okay, well, inappropriate.
I will never stop being crass.
All right. Well, what sort of role do you think would be appropriate for drawing a sketch of a dragon? I imagine it's probably some sort of kit.
Is there a kit for that? I don't know.
I
I just remember I gave Aurelia some I think I gave her some kind of drawing. I don't know. I
Hold
bought her
on.
a bunch of shit when I first
Maybe
when I
there's the
first made
kit,
the
but I would imagine sleight of hand.
no.
I don't know about that.
Hold on. I'm gonna look at the kits real quick, just to.
Lily's just over the moon that she got to pet a
Painter's
dragon.
kit.
Yeah,
Is
painter
there, like-
supplies.
Yeah, painters.
That is an artisan's tool set.
Okay. Well, I don't have proficiency in that specifically. So Aurelia is a bit of an amateur. She's just trying to sketch him.
Like
All right.
she's literally drew that elephant that we saw. The
And since you're trying to draw something you can see in real life in front of you, I would say roll intelligence for accuracy.
Okay.
It's
be worse.
rough.
Hold on.
It's clear enough that you drew a dragon, but a lot of the details have been lost.
Okay. Well, next time.
Lucky. Hold on. I'm gonna. fucking-
Oh my god.
I'll take the 14.
Okay, whatever. Aurelia, you know what? Fuck this. Aurelia's composing a fucking song about the dragon. Screw you. It's beautiful. Everyone weeps tears of joy.
Yeah, but my drawing's better, so fuck off.
All right. Well, you begin your song. Sean, the magic dragon, lived by the sea.
Oh my god.
Wow, I didn't know we had Mary, a Peter, Paul, and Mary Fame on our
At
ship.
this point, Grenache is just shaking his head and just not paying attention anymore.
Look, I got to pet a fucking dragon. It's a good day.
And you notice when you touch his scales that, aside from having the shine of metal, it seems to have the feel and, honestly, a bit of the coolness to the touch that metal does.
Oh,
Ooh, I want to try.
gotta ask first.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Like it feels warmer than if it were just like, well, like one of the steel bolts you're carrying in your supplies downstairs. Those would feel colder to the touch, but this feels like sort of the metal plate that a person is wearing, where a bit of their body heat has managed to get through the padding to warm up the breastplate, but it's still a bit cooler than you would expect from touching a living being.
Man, I need to get the spell Find Even Greater Steed so I can have a magical dragon to.
Well, without any further business, Sean will bid you farewell, transform back into the albatross, and just sort of hop into the air and let the wind catch him and as he flies backwards and
Yell at him.
kinks his wings back into place.
Bye, Sean.
Later, Sean. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah, feel free to come hang out in Vienna.
Also, I should probably say this. Sorry for waking him up late.
No, this is cool. I got to meet a cool dragon that didn't try to eat me.
Yeah, that was a cool dragon.
Yeah.
All right. And so ends today's session.
Hooray.
Ooh-wee.
Hooray.
I got to pet a dragon.
I got an immovable rod and it rules.
I got to provide exposition on the setting.
Yay.
Yeah.
We all
Everybody
won.
I was Pseudo Dragon's mate.
Draw a Minotaur.